Miss Jenee Prince, welcome to the TMG People First Podcast. We have a special guest today. This is my co-host, Mr. Guffey Wright's sister. So it's pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
for letting me be here.
Yeah, you bet.
I get to read her bio just to make sure it's not inflated. I got to make sure we're being fair here. My sister, Jenee Prince, is an educator and creative leader serving as a director at American Leadership Academy and is the director of the Mesa Easter Pageant, the largest passion in the world. She leads large teams of volunteers and performers to create experiences that unite storytelling, faith, and community. In education, Jenee is passionate about developing strong cultures and helping students grow in confidence, character, and leadership. Jenee, welcome to the TMG People First Podcast.
Thank you so much. Super excited to be here.
Yeah, this is awesome. I got a lot of questions. Jason, let's start with you.
In our traditional format, Jenee, what's the first thing you think about when you wake up in the morning?
Oh, I think about my kids and my grandkids and my husband, family. Mostly I think about who needs me today, who needs me the most today, and how can I help those people. I attended a conference many years ago where Bonnie Oscarson talked about this, and she said, you just kind of ask and you receive these impressions about who might need your help today. And so I think about my kids, my family, and then I think who needs me today. My role at Charter One and American Leadership Academy kind of affords me a little bit of, I don't go and sit in an office every day. So I'm at different campuses every day and I at different teachers and just doing different things all the time. And so that gives me an opportunity to really think about who might need me that day. And then I go and I find those people. And sometimes I'm right on the money and other times it's like, what led me over here? But that's kind of what I do. I think about who needs me.
We were talking earlier and Guffey said, I know everything about my sister. So you have to tell us one thing that Guffey doesn't know about you.
It's a good one, Jason.
I know it is a good one. I'm like, Guffey and I are pretty tight.
We are tight.
We are. And I share a lot with Guffey. What might he not know about me?
I think you share yourself with everybody too, but that's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe something I'll say today will
She really likes to eat fish. That's what she was going to say.
No.
She hates fish.
Yeah, right.
So you have how many nieces and nephews do we have? A lot.
A lot.
So like 40 something?
40 something.
But they all don't call you Aunt Jenee.
No, they call me Miss Aunt Jenee.
They call
or
you,
Aunt Miss Jenee.
Yeah, or Miss Jenee. How many people over the years, because you started teaching out of your house, voice lessons, then you did workshops out of your house for years. How many people in the Valley do you think have called you Miss Jenee over this run? How long has this been since you've been doing workshops? For singing workshops and dancing and all that fun stuff.
I've been teaching over 30 years. So that's a lot of kids, a lot of songs. The math, I don't even know, but thousands and thousands and thousands of kids. And what's really cool, my favorite part of all of that is now I have some of their kids. Yeah. And that's the circle of life, right? Like the full circle moment that everybody wants to have, every teacher, everybody who wants to make an impact, everybody who wants to teach somebody. I feel like that means that they had a good experience and they want their kids to have that same experience. So that's the real joy for me, I think.
Yeah. What's your background, Jenee? How did you get into teaching, into the pageant? Like, how did you end up in this, where you're at today?
I don't know. Maybe that's the first thing I do every day is ask myself, how did I end up here? What is my life? I've always had a joy for singing and music and dance. And my parents really, and teachers noticed that from a very early age. I remember in second grade, my music teacher, Miss Mabin, she allowed me to be in the bell ringing choir, the bell choir. Mm. And I was, you usually have to be a little older to do that. I had this little part that I played and everybody thought it was really cute or whatever. And so I kind of took that and I thought, oh, that's nice. And so then she let me play the flute in the band in the elementary school. And then I was in little singing groups with my Aunt Joy and Worms and things like that, just random things growing up. And then I did choir in junior high and high school. I went to college on choral scholarships. I love choral music. I've performed a lot of different places all over the world and had these incredible experiences with music and with people within music. And so it's always just kind of been a part of who I am. I think I knew that I wanted to do something with music my entire life. I just didn't know kind of where that would go. First, I thought I'd be a singer, and then I thought I'd be a teacher, and then it's kind of just gotten me to this role with the charter school organization, with Charter One, where now I get to help teachers get excited about teaching music and help kids be excited and find be empowered through songs and the lyrics to the songs. And I think if you think about it, we learn really like the fundamental principles of things in songs. We learned our ABCs to the tune of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Those types of things, if you know your math tables or your times tables, or you can count by fives or whatever from Sesame Street, or you're probably too young to even watch Sesame Street.
No, I watched it.
Schoolhouse Rock and things like that. And so there are so many things to be learned through music, and a kid will remember 90% of what they hear set to music. So I've always just been really excited to teach kids positive messaging, empowerment, excitement, that they're loved, that they are amazing, and that they're awesome, and that they can accomplish anything. And they can do that in a song.
I love that. And I know you're really humble, but I'm going to have to put you on the spot here. This year, there's Carnegie Hall. What are you doing there? And also, you've done a lot over in the London Orchestra. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Oh, gosh.
I'm sure you do.
So, yeah. Just
Get your inner
excited.
Guffey going here.
I
and you know what to do.
Oh, gosh. So I did sing at Carnegie Hall a couple weeks ago. We had kind of a BYU Singers reunion, a tour, kind of invitational. And we put on a concert. We had a couple rehearsals and virtual rehearsals, and I got to sing again with my choir director from BYU. And
cool.
Ron Staley, he made a huge impact on my life. And I got to go and sing with some of my very greatest friends from those days. And so that was really fun. And then, so London Symphony Orchestra, I've been able to go and watch my friend Rob Gardner go and watch him conduct that orchestra, and then take part on recordings on the back end of that in a choir or as a soloist. And that's been really, really impactful. And so, and then I'm going to sing in Lamb of God at the Met this year.
That's
so
right.
That's kind of cool. I mean, to be doing these types of things, I guess, as a grandma is kind of neat. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Well, for those that you have a big event coming up this month, the end of the month, it's the Easter Pageant. It's the largest outdoor passion of the story of Christ. And for those that maybe don't know what it is or didn't grow up going to it, Jason, have you ever been?
I have not.
So Jason hasn't been.
Oh, we got to get him here this year.
Yeah, we'll get him there. You got to reserve a spot for him so I can get a good spot too. Tell us about the Easter Pageant. Like, what is it? And why should people go? Why do you love it? And why do you continue to do this every year as the director?
Those are good questions. So how it got started in 1938, it was an Easter sunrise service where there were some members of some local congregations that got together, and they wanted to start a youth chorus and sing songs together on the grounds of the Mesa, Arizona Temple. And then it started on like a little cotton wagon, and now it has grown into the largest annual outdoor Easter pageant in the world.
That's
So yeah, it happened. It's been almost 90 years now. And I mean, gosh, to think about where that started and now where it is, it's incredible. But I think it speaks to the storyline. You're talking about inviting a lot of different faiths and like-minded people to gather in a holy space and learn more about hope and love and Jesus Christ and his birth, his ministry, his death, and his resurrection. And I love 10,000 people a night, sometimes more, but almost 100,000 people see it every year. So it's pretty neat to be involved in that. And what I love about it is the people. I mean, you talk about people first, and the people who come, the people who want to learn, the people who I think, is it for seekers or is it for believers? I think it's for everybody. I think it's for both. And then the people who are involved in the process of putting this massive puzzle together. I'm part of the creative team. I'm the creative director. We have so many people who work to make this right. I have no idea how to do anything with costumes or hair and makeup or live animals or working with the city for permits or putting together security or setting up 10,000 chairs. Those are not really my responsibilities, but all of those little components of that have to come together to create this beautiful story. And I just love that everybody has their own story. Everybody brings their own story to tell the greatest story. I think that's what's really cool about it.
How many volunteers, Jenee, does it take to put this together?
That's a great question. I wish I had an exact number for you, but we
just inflate it.
Yeah. I'm channeling my inner Guffey
there you
still.
go.
Okay, with every question. Okay, here we go. I think there are 489 members of the cast this year. So on stage, there will be 489.
I had no idea it was that big, and I've been watching it every year, since I can remember.
It seems smaller than
It seems smaller than that to me.
So
yeah.
the cast itself is 400.
I would have guessed
500
250.
people.
I would have guessed 250.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's huge. And then behind the scenes, we have a backstage support committee of 8 to 10 people who help everybody backstage. Then we have a costume committee of 12 people, hair and makeup people, 12 people. And then we have people who have to set up chairs. We set up 10,000 chairs every year. 9,600 chairs are set up on the lawn. And then we have people who are hosts to help people find chairs. And then we have people who pick up trash every night. Thousands of pizza boxes, thousands of trash, traffic, security. There's probably 500 or 600 other people on top of the 500 in the cast who work behind the scenes.
Every year we have to have a baby Jesus.
Yeah.
So how many people are vying for?
It gets pretty crazy.
I imagine it has to be pretty competitive, right? So how do you determine that? What baby gets to be baby Jesus? How do you work that out?
Sometimes it's the luck of the draw. It's, you got to know people.
Is there a raffle?
Right?
I mean, is it?
I will say my grandbaby played baby Jesus last year one night. But, we have 10 nights of performances, nine nights of performances. And so we kind of rotate people in and out of there as the baby Jesus. Everybody else is there every night, and they play their own part every night. That's a good question. Yeah.
My neighbor went and auditioned, and he was he thought maybe he would be Peter, and he ended up being Judas. And he's like, I must have a resting Judas face or something like that, right? But it's cool because you have people from all over from here that families, they participate with their kids, and a lot of the families come back every year. It's super cool.
Yeah.
All right, Jenee. So I remember the old Easter pageant, and then now I see the revamped Easter pageant. It's done so well. The production is so high quality. I love when I hear your voice. I love when I hear my sister Jamie's voice. But tell us about that experience of revamping the whole thing and that project. How did you ultimately take it on? Because you're talking about a very important story, new music, new everything. So tell us about that experience.
Yeah, it's a very long story, but I'll try to condense it a little bit. So, and a lot of people, don't like change, right? So when you've been
aware.
Yeah. When you've been going to and seeing the same thing over and over and over, you come to expect certain songs, certain dances, certain costumes, certain flow and the feelings, right? So, and when they asked if I would rewrite a pageant, I was like, I don't do that. I don't write music. I don't know how to do that, but I do know the right person to do that. I mentioned him earlier, Rob Gardner, and he's a local composer. He's an incredible friend, and we work really well together. And I've been fortunate enough to be in a lot of his productions for the last.
You weren't in Truck Tunes.
No, I was not in Truck
But
Tunes.
my
sadly.
kids still sing Truck Tunes.
Do they?
Rob.
Okay.
So
I love
keep
that.
Keep going.
I
Sorry.
love that. So when we were asked to, create this, we knew we had a great subject matter. We knew we had all the stories. We weren't going to change the stories, but we had to kind of decide what stories we wanted to tell and how we wanted to tell those stories. And ultimately, Rob said, "What do we want this theme to be?" And we decided God is love. That is the theme we want to be of the Easter pageant. And we want everybody who comes to the pageant, 100,000 people a year, to come and feel God's love. We want them to come and feel hope. We want them to feel light. We want them to feel the love of their Savior. And we want them just to leave feeling better than when they got there. Maybe they have more questions than they have answers, and that's okay too. But we wanted everybody to just kind of learn more. I love how the scriptures and the stories of Jesus can come alive. And I think you start with a message, a scripture. Everything is from the King James Version of the Bible, but you start from a scripture story, and then you add music and dance and visuals, and then everything just comes together and creates something magnificent where you feel something. The audience feels something. And it's not manipulative. It's real feelings that God loves them.
Good answer. Where do you want to go from here?
I mean, how did we do
Let
it?
the church say amen.
I would love to say I had really anything to do with the writing of it. Obviously Rob is so talented, but it was great to collaborate with him on that about, what stories we wanted to tell. And, I remember we were going to tell the story of the prodigal son. We wanted a parable in there. In the old pageant, there was the parable of the 10 virgins. And I don't want to take away anything from the old pageant because I loved it. I directed that one too. I spent a lot of sacred time with those people and with that soundtrack. And that's how I learned from the former director how to direct. And Nancy Waddell was a great mentor to me in that way. But this new pageant, because we were asked to create something, we started with the prodigal son, and we really wanted there to be a parable in there. And then we wrote it in there. And then all of a sudden, it wasn't the prodigal son anymore. Garrett W. Gong gave a talk in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints General Conference and talked about the Good Samaritan. And as he was talking about that, I just thought, it has to be the Good Samaritan. It has to be the Good Samaritan. And so we shifted a little bit and put the Good Samaritan in there. And we want everybody to go and do thou likewise. We want people to learn that they can be kind to their neighbor, that they can lift people, that they can change people, that they can, that they can go out in the community and do some good, just like Jesus did, just like Christ went about doing good. That was kind of the overall message. And we know we can do that because of God's love.
So Jenee, you've obviously directed this for years. You're so influential, but I would like to see you invite Jason here to come, and I haven't seen your invitation skills. I want you to invite Jason to the Easter pageant and our producer Milan. What are we doing?
I would love to have you both there this year or any year. But yeah, let me know what I can do to facilitate that. So I'll send you the website with the dates, and you tell me what date you want to go, and I'll make sure you don't have to sit down there at noon and wait for seats. I know a guy who can get you, who will wait there all day for you.
I'll wait for you, Jason.
That's my love language.
We'd love to have you there. Yeah.
No, I'd love to go. It'd be great. So when you transitioned, you made the change, how was the change received? And then how did you manage the change management of that going forward?
That's a really good question. I guess managing the change is...
Because it's really emotional for lots of people, right?
It is. And it was for me too,
Sure.
right? So it was difficult, but I knew that the program that Rob had written and that we were creating, and all of these people, my assistant directors, the costumers, it barely was finished in time for the first rehearsal. We had a really tight deadline to get it done. And so that was a little bit stressful. But I knew that I trusted Rob, number one. I trusted God, number one, I trusted God. Let's say that again.
He's going to be so happy that just happened.
I got to meet this guy, Rob.
I know, right? You do. He's great. No, but really, I trusted him to get it done. I wasn't worried about that. I wasn't worried about it at all. And with that, I mean, for sure, I had full faith and trust in God that this was important to him. It was important to me. It was important to the community. And so I knew it was important to him. And so the change, when we hear things like, oh, I miss this or I miss that, I'm like, I miss it too. But look at all these other things that we've added or have, I think, improved upon. And I really, really believe that it is what it is for the time that we are in now. And the people who are receiving it, it's all it is an invitation. Just like you said, Guffey, it's like, if I invite you, then you get to decide whether or not you show up and come and watch it. But I'm inviting, or we are putting this on the stage for however many people want to come every year. And it's an invitation. And what they do with that invitation, how they accept it, if they show up, and then what they do from there is up to them. So we're just providing that experience for them. Hopefully it's one that is not just transactional, hey, come, but it's transformative. Hopefully it's more inspirational than informational. And I think that's really, really important.
I can see the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
We say a lot of transactional moves product, but transformational moves people.
Well,
so that's what you just said.
Absolutely. Well, that's what I tell my teachers, like if you want to have a transactional experience with a kid, have fun, but you're using music and art and visuals and things that really, really can touch the heart. So why not make it transformational?
When you were talking, I remember watching it the first time that it had changed. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you remember this or not, but I texted her. First of all, anyone that's ever done where they've put their whole heart and soul into something, and then it's on display for everybody to see, they know what you were feeling and going through. And then you add some weight of the religious part of it. But I texted her that night and I just said, hey, I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts. I'll let you know my critiques here in a little bit, like as a joke. She calls me right away, right?
I remember I was still in the parking lot. And I'm like, I got to know what Guffey thinks. I got to know what Guffey thinks.
And I didn't expect her to call right away. But when I sent the text, I did it mostly just to be funny because I was so emotional. I remember you called and you're like, so what did you think? And I couldn't even talk, and it was because I just saw my sister there in everything. And it was so, so cool. So, sorry, I was trying to be funny, and then it ended up where you called me right away and just caught me in my tracks. But I don't know how you go and don't be moved by the Easter pageant, in some way, shape, or form. I think it's just you're around the community, you're around the people. You get to see this story that's 2,000 years old that we're still keeping alive today in multiple faiths across the world. I don't have a question here, Jenee, but I'm just telling you, I think you're great, and I think it's really awesome that you changed it, and the community gets to benefit from all of you just up there.
Well, I appreciate that, and it's definitely not about me, because when you say that, I appreciate that you changed it. People say, why did you do that? It's basically, we were asked to do it. I didn't go and say, like, campaign, right. Hey, we need a new production. We need a new pageant. But, and I appreciate you saying that there's so much of me in there, because that makes me feel good. It makes me feel like maybe I'm doing something right in my life, or something worthwhile. Something that benefits the community. It is a gift to the community. And, people should be able to come and feel moved, like you said. And people say, don't you ever get sick of watching it or hearing it? And I don't. I mean, I have seen it thousands of times, but truth is truth to me, and that never gets old. So
I just picture you in your spot, kind of in the middle there with your chair, with your Sonic drink, all wrapped up. And I know your little spot when you're in your pocket there. So
yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah.
So Jenee, I asked you earlier to tell us something about about yourself that Guffey doesn't know? So, Guffey, I'll return the question to you. Tell us something that maybe Jenee doesn't know.
What doesn't Jenee know about me? See, we have there's 9 siblings, and we are all so close. People always ask us, like, are you sure you like hanging out together? Or, and we get together almost every Sunday. And there's Jenee, of all my siblings. I mean, I think you've been probably one of my biggest cheerleaders. I mean, we all cheer for each other, but you cheer for everybody. You just make me feel special. It's a gift that you have. One thing that Jenee, that you don't know about me is I can bench 350 pounds. So, that's probably about it. Other than that, everything else, unless you already knew that.
I didn't know that, but I'm so happy that I know that. That will change my opinion of you.
Great. Oh, man.
My first memory of Jenee as a kid, Guff.
When I was born, what grade were you in? I was born in 85.
I was 15.
So you were a sophomore?
Yeah, I was a sophomore.
Okay. I remember a Christmas. My first memories are, Christmas with you, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I remember obviously the old house, the old Cherry Street house. But my first memories are probably when you were leaving to college. But you would play with your friends. This is it. This is it. You'd play with your friends in the family room.
Yep.
That dumb game. This is a watch, a what, or whatever that is that we always make fun of now.
A what? Yeah.
So those are kind of my first memories of you hanging out with your friends in high school, playing games in the family room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And was I just a great kid or what? Like a little baby? Was I just...
You were so cute.
There you go.
I mean, I have great siblings. I'm the oldest, right? So I've seen them at all their different phases. But like he said, I did leave when I graduated. I went away, and but I love the relationships that we have. I think that's super important. I think my parents did a really good job of making sure that we knew that we were each other's cheerleaders. And I don't think anything. Something I was just going to say something about Guffey. A couple weeks ago, I think, was it New Year's Day? Anyway, we were talking about, I went to visit our dad's grave at the cemetery, and Guffey's like, I don't like to do that. I don't like to do that or whatever. And then 2 minutes later, he shows up, he drives up, and we're just sitting there. We're standing there together, and, but that didn't surprise me that he showed up, even though, because he said, I don't like to go there, But he showed up because he probably thought, oh, Jenny's alone. She probably needs somebody. And he was on his way to do something else over in that neighborhood. But I just thought, I do matter. I do matter to Guffey. And that felt good. We all need to feel like we matter. It doesn't matter if we're the director of the biggest annual outdoor Easter pageant in the world or whatever. We all need to feel noticed, and we need to feel that sense of that we're important to somebody. And so you're good. Nothing about you surprises me, except for everything about you surprises me.
Well, what you just said, like, my favorite quote from Oprah is, she says, after all the interviews I've ever done, the one thing I know for sure is every human wants to be validated.
Absolutely.
And you just said it, being recognized, being respected, being seen. And you just do that. You do that naturally. So, Jason, what other questions do we have for Miss Jenee here, other than we all need to get to the Easter pageant?
Yeah, I was just, what's next, Miss Jenee? What would you like? What production would you like to do next? Or what would you like to be a part of next?
Wow.
If you could just pick anything, what would it be?
This last week, I went to the Southeast and visited some of our campuses out there in North Carolina. And I just love watching teachers teach kids. And I just love being a part of that. So I don't know that there would be like a next show that I would direct. But I am excited to do my summer workshop again this summer. And I usually have a couple hundred kids within a couple different workshops at a couple different locations or whatever. But I love that part of my job is completely separate from the Easter pageant. So for what's next for me is I think I just keep doing what I'm doing and try to dig deeper within myself so that I can bring more love, more peace, more joy, more hope to not only the audience at the Easter pageant, but to all of those people who are counting on me to be a leader or the director of fine arts for the charter schools, or just a friend, or making sure that I know who needs me today and every day.
I love that. So Jenee, what happens when you get a kid in the workshop and you can tell they're maybe he or she is shy or nervous, and then you get to see we talked about transformation. When you get to see a transformation and those kids light up, how does that, is that kind of
that's the
your
why.
why?
That is the why. I think you've probably seen that in your own kids. We've all seen that, I think, with our own kids, just them figuring out like, wow, I can do this. And, a little boy came up to me last summer and just said he had a pretty bad stutter. And he said, I want to do a solo this year. I want to. And I said, okay, then we're going to have you do it. And he did it. And because I believe that music is magic, I knew that once he got on the beat, once he found that rhythm, that he wouldn't stutter. And he didn't. And whatever that is, music is magic for kids, for people. And so that is my why. There's always somebody. And I get curious about those kids too, like, I wonder why they're so nervous, or I wonder, but mostly when you get a kid, mostly those kids, they're like ready. They want to go on stage. They are so excited. And for those who aren't, they see everybody else doing it, and that energy is in the room, and that fuels their energy. And that is kind of like, well, I can't be the only one that doesn't want to do it, or I don't, So at the beginning, people are, I don't want to solo, Miss Jenee. I don't want to solo. All right, you don't have to do a solo. And then 2 days before we're getting ready to go on stage, they're like, I want a solo. Okay, we'll find you a solo, but they're great. And just using music and the arts to empower kids is where I love it so much. That's the joy.
Why don't you tell our audience about what it means to you when you talk about the answers are in the music? Because Dad used to love watching you sing. It was his favorite thing in the world, more than he liked watching me play football, that's for sure.
I'm sorry. Let's just get that out right now. I'm so sorry.
I lost that battle.
Please accept my apology.
But what does that mean to you? And then we'll wrap this up.
I think just the story goes that when I went away to school, I was kind of having it was hard to be away from my family and all that I knew, right? And so my dad wrote me a letter, and he said, just the answers are in the music. Please listen. And once he said that, I started finding a lot of answers in the music. So I started thinking about all the songs that he taught me, like The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow, or What a Wonderful World, Pulling Together We Can Work It Out, Thank You for the Music, Sir Duke, all these great songs, even Proud Mary, and I just thought, wow, there are lessons here in every lyric. There are lessons in every lyric. And I find that I hear a lot of the answers that I might be looking for, even before I know I need them. And I thought, I can find that in a song lyric, or I can take this song lyric and really teach a really great concept about kindness by talking about, I see friends shaking hands, saying how do you do, they're really saying I love you, or whatever those lyrics are in any of the songs. And so I feel like that has shaped me as a person, even from a really young age, unbeknownst to me, singing Disney songs, singing songs from musicals that are happy and uplifting and positive. And I've been accused of being kind of a Pollyanna, throughout my life, but I won't apologize for it. I would much rather spend my time being positive and glass half full and sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows than anything else. So I think you'll find whatever you're looking for wherever you're looking for it. But for me, the answers are in the music. They always pop up in a song lyric. If I'm in church, if I'm in the car, if I'm teaching at Sonic, yeah, those are the three places I go, right? I guess. But I feel like there are so many impactful lyrics that have been written. There's a lot of not impactful lyrics that have been written either. But I choose to fill my life with the positive lyrics or the positive music and the positivity in that. And I think there's a lot of empowerment in that to share with other people.
Amen.
Should we ask her to sing? We don't have to.
I mean, I can sing. What do you want to hear? Do you want to hear?
What's your favorite song to sing?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, if it's a karaoke night.
So what's your go-to karaoke song?
My go-to
what do you sing in karaoke?
Well, I always sing "Last Dance" by Donna Summer, but I don't know if that's. But I mean, like "Somewhere Over the Rainbow" or I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, let's hear "Somewhere Over the Rainbow."
Well, I won't sing the whole song.
Yeah, don't sing the whole song.
30 seconds.
Oh, well, I'll
10 seconds.
Okay, there we go. Like
30 seconds.
okay. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. There you go.
Yeah.
Definitely the most talented in the family.
Not even close. It's just on
I'd
full
rather watch
display.
him play. I'd rather watch him play football.
On full display today.
Well, thanks for sharing.
Jenny, thanks
Of
for
course.
thanks
Thank
for stopping
you so
by.
much for having me. I appreciate it.
We'll see you at the Easter pageant and
Yeah.
everybody else listening.
Okay. All right.